What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a nice Subterror duel for you guys to check out. This is a little bit of a different version of Subterror. This is Subterror Dinosaurs, and I think people are just starting to realize more and more. We talked about this some months ago, that dinosaurs can relatively fit in a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Any deck that has an ability to inherently just foolish monsters into the graveyard, or to dump them in the graveyard easily, Lightsworn, Shadows, etc., etc. Dinosaurs will fit right into your deck. And, you know, Conductor Tyranno is one of the best boss monsters in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alongside of something like ABC Dragon Buster. Those cards can just shut down your opponent and give you a whole bunch of offense at the same time. Speaking of ABC Dragon Buster, we got ABCs up here at the top. Not exactly like the most aggressive hand, but this seems actually like a relatively good hand going second, because if your opponent makes a big board, you've got the Regeki, you have Ash Blossom and Impermanence to kind of disrupt your opponent, and you have your all-important Union Hanger field spell. So I actually think the ABC player, although there's not a lot of offense in this hand, there is just, it's a really good hand going second, and he is luckily going second. Going first with this hand, I don't know about that, because literally the only card you can play is just the Union Hanger. But going second, this is actually a fantastic hand. The only way this hand would be better, in my opinion, is if one of these Ash Blossoms was probably like a Droll and Lockbird. This hand might be able to take down any competitive deck at that point. But let's go ahead and roll it, and let's see what the Subterror deck is going to do. And actually, both players have their kind of Rhoda field spells. So he does play Photon Thrasher, interesting enough, which is going to be paired with the Subterror Nemesis Warrior. This card can, you know, it can tribute this, it can tribute the Photon Thrasher. You can get a monster from your graveyard, or actually I think it summons from the deck. Anyways, Ash Blossom was used. Then he used Subterror Fiendus to basically stop that. I believe he is going to use Warrior's Effect. Yep, he's going to use Warrior's Effect to get that big behemoth on field. This is the one that has the Foolish Burial built into it, so he can actually send something like, you know, Quoteless Overtext to the graveyard. He can activate its effect, but he's going to go a little bit of a different route. He ends up getting his Warrior back because the Subterror monster was flip face up while it was in the graveyard. He sends Glow Up Bulb to the graveyard, and this is interesting because now he can make a turn 1 Nap Beast. That's really cool. Flips it face down, and then he's going to set his final battle. Now, let's be real here. If you were playing, especially with Fiendus in your hand, let's be real here. If you were playing against Sky Strikers, you know 100% this would be GG no re. You made a Naturia Beast turn 1, and he still has the copy of Fiendus in his hand. So if his opponent does use Impermanence, he can obviously just negate it. All he has to do is get this behemoth face up on the field, which he can do using the Subterror final battle. He does not have to wait until the battle phase for Hidden City. He can just flip it up immediately, which is exactly what he's going to do. Activates final battle, and his opponent is going to chain the Impermanence. I would have negated that. That's just me. I feel like he should have negated that. He is going to use his Subterror Fiendus on something different, and he is, during this turn, he is going to activate the Warrior to get it back from the graveyard as well. I believe he's going to use it on, Quoteless is trying to activate to get him, what's that card? Double Evolution Pill, and he's going to use it on the Ash Blossom. I felt like that was a mistake. I would have just went ahead. I would have negated the copy of Impermanence so that my Nap Beast can be online, because he got that Regeki, bro, and you looking kind of foolish right here. Now, luckily, he was able to use the Fiendish Warrior, he was able to use, not Fiendish Warrior, Nemesis Warrior. He was able to use Nemesis Warrior to get Archer on the field, and when Archer dies to Regeki, it is going to float. So luckily he didn't lose that much in the exchange, but he could have lost a lot, to be honest. I feel like that was completely avoidable. He just summons B off the Union Hanger. He's going to equip it with A, and that's pretty much it. Wait, is that A or is that C? I feel like that's, okay, that is A. Like, I think I get A and C mixed up all the time. I know B is distinguishable because it looks kind of like a dragon. Anyways, he is going to activate the copy of Devil Evolution Pill after he gets his Warrior back from the graveyard. Warrior is such a good card because you can just summon it over and over and over again, and this duel is basically over at this point. He used for a final battle on his behemoth, which made it 4,700 attack. I mean, his opponent doesn't really have that much chance of surviving this, although there is a chance he can possibly get ABC Dragon Buster on the field. I'm just not sure if he'll have any resources left. He is going to summon A. It's going to get banished. If it had not gotten banished, maybe he could have went for like a Desperation Black Rose Dragon play if he runs it, which, come on, card images, work with me here. Does he run ABC, or not ABC Buster Dragon? Does he run Black Rose? there it is. He does run Black Rose Dragon. Okay, so maybe he could have had a Desperation Black Rose play, but it doesn't matter because he was not able to get to that. He does make ABC Buster Dragon, but that's also a little irrelevant because Conductor Tyranno is just going to blow up the Nemesis Warrior, which he could just get back next turn anyways, put it face down, and Dragon Buster can't do anything about it because he doesn't have any cards in hand. So next turn, he was 100% going to die. The Conductor Tyranno could have just ran it over. He would have flipped this face down, then flipped it face up. That could have also just banished it, and he would have been able to get Warrior at the same time. In addition, he had 2 copies of Final Battle, so he would have been doing a ton of battle damage. That could have been, I think that actually could have just been an OTK, even if he had 8,000 damage. Or if not an OTK, it would have been very close to it. I'm not exactly sure of the math, but it would have been close. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this Subterror deck looks like because it has dinosaurs in it, so obviously it's not a traditional build. So this is what the deck looks like on paper. The Dino engine is relatively small in this deck. In fact, you guys saw the entire engine in that duel. It's just 3 cards. It's you know, Quoteless and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, also with the double evolution pill. What's really cool about the Dino engine in this deck is that the, you know, 1 card basically gets you all the cards. They work in sequence. If you send Quoteless to the graveyard, that gets you double evolution pill, and then you can instantly activate that as long as you have another monster in the graveyard to summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So it's really small. We also see Savaris. Shout outs to UK Nationals. They're the card that put this they're the event that put this card on the map. This would have been very useful in that duel because it could have protected Naturia Beast from the Infinite Impermanence. Obviously, if you're playing against Sky Strikers or Trickstar, pretty much the only way that they can get rid of like a Naturia Beast is with a copy of like Impermanence. If they don't have that, they're basically not killing it. So this can be just a nice way of being able to protect your Nat Beast, which it does seem like a very good play. Also stops Effect Veiler. You're playing a flip deck, so all your flip effects are susceptible to Effect Veiler. Definitely don't want to lose out to that. See a bunch of other monsters, not just Quoteless, that can be sent to the graveyard with this behemoth specifically. You have Paracerberus. Haven't seen this card in a while. This is the one where if you take damage by, you know, your opponent's battle or card effect, you can banish it from the graveyard. You can then target one of their cards, blow it up. It's pretty nice. It works from the graveyard. And you also have Glow Up Bulb, which was used to make that Naturia Beast. You can also send Nemesis Warrior to the graveyard. We saw Nemesis Warrior be used over and over and over and over again in that duel. Seems kind of like the central theme of this deck is really to abuse Nemesis Warrior. In the OCG, it's more of like Guru control, but we don't have Guru, so it's like whatever. I think that's the reason why Photon Thrasher is used in this deck, is so that you can get Nemesis Warrior online, so that you can activate its ability. You can tribute, you know, 8 stars and then be able to get the like one of your behemoths pretty fast. And the rest of the deck is pretty much just standard. I don't know about set rotation. It seems like a little unnecessary. You already got 3 terraformings and 3 hidden cities. I get it, you're playing the crawler field spell, and I mean it does kind of work if you do happen to hard draw this, because it makes it so if your opponent runs over a flip monster in battle, you kill their monster as well, so you get like a little nice 1-for-1 there. But I mean, in general, I just don't really think you need it. Like, I don't know, maybe I'd run more copies of like Called by the Grave, because obviously like Droll stops any decks that runs terraforming into Rhoda field spell. Ash Blossom would definitely hurt this deck, and we saw Ash Blossom used multiple times against them, because not just Foolish Burial, not just 1-for-1, but Hidden City. There are just so many cards in this deck. Rhoda, and you know, the Foolish effect of this guy, the effect of Subterror Nemesis Warrior. This deck is so susceptible to Ash Blossom. I would almost certainly run more copies of Called by the Grave instead of running like the set rotation plus the Crawler field spell. Seems like an easy way to be able to stop those cards, but I mean, that's just me personally.